Hello, hello. Good afternoon. Welcome to another ES Futures trading stream. This is not going to be that long. I just want to talk about what is going on here and how to try not to get caught with these wide ranges the market is having, right? And the trap that price always represents. It's inevitable that we are going to follow price. The market is going higher, oh, I want to buy. Market is going lower, I want to sell. But it is important. It is really, really important to do homework because that will give you an idea what the market or where the market is and what can be going on underneath the surface, below just price. One of the things that if you are trading, you probably notice this as well, right? We have this trend that is, this is the weekly. I mean to call it daily. Okay, but the daily let me call this a daily here. Oh, before, I guess it's a good thing that it didn't show up. Okay, let's take this monthly for example. What's happening in the monthly time frame, right? What is happening here? You can clearly see a trend here, trend to the downside, going lower. This is the bigger time frame. Now we also have year, but I don't think a trade's happening here. But this reference from the year can be used for by traders. That's why I added here, because the significance of these areas, and we talk about that as well in the past. Now this is the monthly. These are the pullbacks from the all-time highs. Notice there's no excess in the all-time highs. We've got 7, 8, 10, 12.5, 15, 17.5, 20, and below 20, I had 25. I don't have 22, and I have 25 here. Right? And I call this a go, no go area. Now the daily has something. This is what I want to show you. This line here this one here, we talked about this last Friday. I believe even was Friday, Thursday, even Thursday. And I think even be in this day, I don't know what day was that, or this Tuesday, something like that. We started to talk about this one, then about this one, what can happen, and today I have extended this before. Yesterday I have extended this, and if you have seen the market, where the market opened, or what the market did at the opening, you you will have noticed that it was bought right here, right from there. What was resistance now becomes support, and this is when the market had this low here. What is this low? 45. What do we have here? 43.5. 44, 45. Call it. Let's see your call. So it's open right here. It gives him an idea who can be here, right? But before getting over there, before we get over here, the market has this opening over the weekend. It opened way up here. What it is? It opened way up here, right? Way up here. Has an upside. Did it has an upside extension? Yes, it has an upside extension. And then it just was sold. This selling that happened here, this was fast and this was very slow, right? And what followed after that is the market coming back and taking this high out. Right? The whole range, this range, this overnight range out. Volume 240, very low relative to previous days. And as the market opened, something that really catch my attention is that when the overnight took this high out, this one out, and has this upside extension, what it did is it moved this half back up here, right? But these are the weakest traders, okay? And notice how many times was bought from half back? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, 10 times when bought from here. You don't see that after the opening because the half back now is up here where POC is at the same level as POC. But that was an important piece of information. And the market making a low right at what it was, not what it is. It was at the time, right? At 9:30, halfback was up here, but here, right? Here, the same action that traders were doing overnight, it was happening the daily on irregular trading hours as well. So an indication that who is behind these movements, up or down, right? Clearly, wasn't serious money here. Do I know for sure? I don't know. Okay, I don't know if anybody can say that. But the odds here, I mean, this is very weak. I have seen this before, and I see what happened when I tried to up from anything here. Okay, this is not good. I'm going to short this market. But the thing is, gotta wait for an opportunity. After all, there is a gap to the upside. After all, value is going to be no matter what, value is going to be higher. So the next thing is this market going to have upside continuation, is going to build value above Friday's value, regardless of how the structure is, right? Or we're going to have some rotation here, or if the market is going to break, which one of these? I have no idea. But something came here. All right, we have this A period here. Okay. So all of this talk for, to put this label, this area, or to give that area the surrounding circumstances, right? The surrounding fact that this is a low here. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, and after that we have an inside bar, B. It would be nicer if it's a smaller range, but it didn't happen. Now we have another inside bar that was developing here, also inside, in a day that is a breakout to the upside, with a gap to the upside. But the selling, the buying that was coming, it came exactly from halfback here. So you have positioning here. All right? You have a market that opens way up high, it's not interested in having upside continuation. In the same way as Friday was a day where sellers were not interested, or traders were not interested in selling the market, today there was no interest in buying the market. Just, this is a continuation. Okay? This is when trading is about this information, it's about change, about happening, right? A continuous view of the market. If I don't know what happened yesterday, if I don't know what happened last week, I will be trading just price, nothing else. Some opportunity comes here, and when the market takes this high, many times, who is here, right? Who is here? Who is here doing the movements that we have seen? In the same way, who are small traders doing that, there are also more sophisticated traders that can see what is happening. There are no serious money here, right? So I have better odds. If I have a big position, you have power. There are better odds that I can move this market. I can do something. I can use the inventory that's being built in weak hands. And that's what happened here. Value is higher. There was a gap, obviously, because the gap wasn't closed at the time. But what was happening here was very, 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 very questionable. So there was no, following blindly guidelines that we use. This will be a law, right? Oh, the market opened with a gap, the market didn't close the gap, blah, 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 blah. But everything, right? Everything, education, learning starts when we put the facts, when we put what is happening, okay, and we give it context. When we give context to what is happening, that's when real learning starts. And something was happening here. Against everything. Something that I hope you have noticed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay. Call, puts. That was it. One day was the only trade was to the upside, the only trade was to the downside, the other upside, downside. In that sequence. Okay? If you were doing this, good odds you ended fine. That's another thing. Is it going to continue? I have no freaking idea. And this is very dangerous as well, right? Just because this one and now we are going to trade puts, that's not a reason to do that. But this kind of trading is full of nuances, man. Full of nuances. If we don't notice these things, we are missing a lot. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the time here, right? And those are what I'm talking now is about just the context. Give me the context of what happened here. All right. Of course, after the fact is easy, but the way how I was monitoring, let me close this thing. I will come back to this in a bit, but right now let's take it out of there. It's in the way. All right. And I'm going to use, this is what I use for trading. Remember, again, trading is not just the act of selling and buying. When I say trading is, I am here the whole day, right? From 7:30 or 8:30 or 9:20, I am here all the way until the market closes, and until I do my homework. Sometimes until 5, sometimes until 11 p.m. Right? Just doing the homework or doing, coming back, stepping away and coming back to the desk, to the trading desk. That's trading, right? And this is what I use. Window Trader has everything together. It has value. You have value here. You can split this very easily, or blah, blah, a lot of things, right? Sierra also has that. It's a different. It's kind of like you need to do more steps. Yeah, this is the only thing I need, right? This one, the expanded profile, and this one over here. If you remember a couple months ago, maybe 3-4 months ago, something like that, I said I was monitoring, I was adding these blocks to my pieces of market generating information that I'm going to monitor. But when I saw the market breaking, after this new after market, okay, let's call this. When I saw the market here, when I saw this break here, happen here, right? Guess what happened with this? Nothing happened. I didn't see any big blocks, nothing, absolutely nothing, right? And bigger time frame, hedge funds, bigger money was very active, very active, okay? And you just have an idea that they will go to extreme to conceal their activity, okay? And I stopped doing that. You know, I stopped watching this. I don't care about this now. I don't care about things. These ones here, these are the beta and as delta here. Do I care about that? No, I don't care. But sometimes it is useful to see what's going on. And these things, these pieces of information gain some relevance when the market is dominated by short-term trading. And I had those ones here as well. Okay, I got this, and this is the delta. One of the things that I have noticed when the market was up here, right? Don't know where the heck is that now. Oh, gosh, I don't remember really exactly how it happened, but let me see if I can explain it to you. Okay. What I saw was tremendous. This is going that like that, right? It's expanding from less to the delta is 0 to a tremendous pressure to the downside, but notice how it's wide. That's one thing, right? So there was tremendous. There was a lot of activity here of short-term trading, very short-term trading, doing their things here. The same thing happened. The same phenomenon happened here as well. Okay, so if these guys, will not have anything to the downside, that was my thinking process. This market has good odds that this inventory that's being built here, and remember, the delta means nothing, okay? That means nothing. What matters are these numbers here, because these ones are actually trades that went through, okay? There are 18 trade contracts being sold by, I don't know what it was, 27 here, 2,000 here. To the upside, to the downside, I have no idea. I don't know who buy or sold it. There's no way for me to know how many of those are sales and how many of those are buys. I don't care about that. It's just a waste of time trying to figure that out. Okay, but this is something, depending on what the surrounding circumstances, what happened here, right? These guys are high risk, assuming, and those were at the time, there was pressure being built here, in this area here. The same thing happened here. Right? Then we have an inside bar. And what happened after that, right, comes exactly, man. And this is how, it's crazy how this happened. Exactly to the tick from hardback. Okay, you have an inside bar. If this inside bar has a breakout, preferably in the direction of the trend, right? So, but the question is, what is the trend? And hence the title of this stream. Right? Markets, time frames, and trends. You got this market that is doing one thing in the monthly, the weekly, and another thing is doing in the daily. The daily is, I would call it maybe the current business, what's happening right now. The next thing is change, right? If change happens, the next thing that will happen is the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame will end as well. Okay, and here I call my charts again. You got the week, you got the daily here. You got the daily here. Now, what's happening with the weekly? You know, can you see? It's very close, right? It's very close to end. You know, taking this high out is change, represents change. Look at what this low is. Look at this high is. Right? That's the thing. Okay? That's the next thing. Well, that was the next thing. In order to take an advantage of what's happening. Because what happened here is there's a breakout following the shortest time frame, the intraday, daily. Right? Intraday is this inside bar, there's upside, breakout, but this doesn't have upside continuation. Right? We have that weekly high that is next. Right? It just, they didn't care about that. They didn't care. And the market after that, you have an opportunity either somewhere in here or in here. Here is a little bit, this is more risky here. Because what happened when the market re-enters this range, the potential destination is the opposite side of that range. In this case, this is inside bar. This is a breakout failure. You know, all these guidelines that we have are for all time frames. And this is the daily. This is the intraday here. Up here. And look at what happened here as well. This low is taken, volume rise. This is another opportunity here. What is your stop? What's my stop here? This one here. Because this closes this. This risk coming back inside, I may be taking this high out. Just as simple as that. But, okay, once the market got to this area here, it really has nothing, man. Let me show you. I don't know if I can show you that because that was here. Yeah, there was nothing here, absolutely nothing here. I'm following this. You know, there's a value that was building here, and it was just like this down here. You know? And many of our losses comes when we got the movement and we try to squeeze the last penny of the trade. You know, how much is this relative to the trade? 15, 10, 15, 20%? No? I'm not calling it relative. The next thing is you got to identify the trade, right? This is the trade. It starts here and ends here. If I am here, somewhere in here, how much this represent relative to the whole thing? Right? How much that is? It's not that much. Man. You got plenty here, from here to here, taking this low here. All right, you got plenty, even more, if you got it from here. And you have a spike here, trying to get this part. It is just. I think this is what people call greed, right? What kills. I have this market is going to keep going lower and lower and lower. But remember this, okay? This is a trend. Call it higher. It's going higher. okay, go high. But as soon as this one takes this low, it's a rotation. It's a rotation in the market now. The odds that we're going to have rotation are high. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 periods wide. POC right now, or at this moment was here. Okay, halfback was there. How many periods we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's halfback? Here, so POC is going to be here. If this one moves up here, what's going to happen to POC? It may move. If there is more here, it can move higher. Right? But that's what kills many people. And now, check this out. Where this one was sold from? Got this one here. Right? This was a hard trade, man. This was really hard. Because the market came up here, and then after that it comes all the way down to here. And this one, okay, depending on what you are trading, right? What the mindset is. This one is just like this one here. It is the same trade. It is the same trade. No, you don't have an inside bar, but you have this very, very questionable high here, and the reaction of the market is. Did I take that one? Who cares, man? That's not what is in that's if you are looking for that, it's not going to help you. That's one. I guess that's one thing. So it's not going to help you to develop your trading. You know, if you pay attention to what other people does, if he does this, I'm going to do this. Something I think that, and actually something that I strongly recommend is this: you do your thing, and then you can use somebody that you trust, you have seen, right? To check, to use somebody as a benchmark. I do that with Jim Dalton. You know that I was doing that for years now. And with time, the main idea of this is you do your observations, you do your comments, you write it. If you can do a video. That is going to help to store the information. So it can. Why you want to store the information if you're not going to use it? Right? The reason is it becomes easily accessible. You can access to that information at any given time. You don't have to be conscious. The goal is to make it unconscious. And you will not be able to do it unless it's unconscious, because as soon as the market, many times, what happens is you write a lot of things, you pay attention to a lot of things, but as soon as the market opens, boom, all those things are forgotten. Okay? All the things are forgotten. What I am, okay, and I put something in Discord that I was monitoring the ability of the market, for downside continuation, the ability of the market of moving this halfback down to here. Why down to here? Because that's what I observed the market was doing. I'm going to collapse this profile. I have my references. This is very questionable. This is questionable. This is questionable as well. I don't know what I was talking now. Oh, I have observed how if there is something serious, that's the next thing to monitor. These dynamic references moving around. One of those is value, the other one is POC, the other one is halfback. Okay, and what I mentioned is, there, let me see if I can make this smaller. downside continuation, we see this moving down here, this halfback, which meant at the time to do this, to move down here, the market has to extend twice that range down to here. That has to have a downside extension down to here. What are the odds of that happening when the market was here? Did you see how slow it was? How questionable this high was? How was sold from hard back here? It is true, it has stopped right at settle. This high is very questionable here. I mean, this low is very, very, very questionable. But that's what the market is doing. We have a market to the upside, value is higher, POC is moving lower, right? But if this moves higher, 1, 2, 3, 4, just up to here, we now will have 5 white, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, we'll have 5 white here, and POC will move up here. If it keeps moving higher and build another period here, POC will move back to where it was. Okay, that's the thing. Those are the things that I modeled. This didn't happen. So what were the odds of this happening after, when I brought this? I guess I was replying to Adrian here. This is what I what it is. Oh, here, right? This is the next thing. When the market was doing this, right? When the market was doing this, I was flat at the time. I bought a call when somebody in here. On took my chances, right? But what happened? Okay, when the next thing that you are expecting while you monitor the market, right, doesn't happen. There's an extension all the way down to here, right? Half back here. What happened when what you are thinking must happen doesn't happen, or could happen, right? Now check your volume. No. Lower, 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 lower. This can be maybe 7% lower than Friday. Friday was low. Every time it's getting lower. We are now getting back close to what used to be, right? Around this area. We may end up here now. Is that going to happen? No idea. Now the context as well. We have this contract that has started, has its first month. Earnings are about to come. News relative to like PCE, CPI, non-payrolls, those are behind. They're coming at the end of the month. What is in the deck, in forefront is basically earnings. I haven't checked actually what happened with. I don't know if banks have anything today. But banks are the ones that start to report here. All right. Now, regarding the trade now. This market now, where it is now, okay? Where it is, we have this high. Market did not have us. This is excess here. This is very questionable low. We have another one here. All right? We have another one here, right at this high. So that gives an idea who is behind here. Now it doesn't mean, okay, it doesn't mean that it has to break. Okay, because remember we have the same things. We have the same things happening here. With this area here, this area here, this area here. Okay? Now we have the same thing. We have this one, we have this one, we have this one, even this one. Okay? Because what is this, for example? It's halfback. Bix is 32, around 32. You know, a couple ticks doesn't make a difference. That's halfback, man. Where's value? Value is higher. It didn't even get inside value. This market didn't even get inside by this area here. So this is a market to the upside. Does it have confidence? No. It is strong? No. But that is what the market is doing. Okay? Unless you have something really, odds related, really good odd based and have a really nice location, you know, this one here has this high as a stop. Just that. Right? Just that. This is a different kind of trade. This is a different kind of trade. This is look below and fail that happened here in the intraday. And after that, man, I guess this one has better. I absolutely would have not taken this one here. This is actually an out. This is an out, not an entry. I'm not saying that's a stop, right? But that's an out because the trade actually was in the opposite direction. Okay, the gap has been closed. The gap has been closed. The market opened with the gap. The gap has been closed. Guess what we have above? We have another gap, right? And sometimes, you have seen, I hope you remember this thing. This market has opened in between two gaps, right? Created a gap below, and have a gap above. It is just a sign of how uncertain this market, how much lack confidence there is in this market. Who is probably doing this thing now? Who was buying here, going higher, from the same area, right? Halfback. Now we have a trend, daily time frame, that is going higher. Right? This is the daily. One day here, another day here, another day here, whatever, right? We have this overnight above here. We have POC here, halfback, all these references inside. The odds that these, okay, this is another thing, right? The odds that these kind of references are revisited, right, are higher when it is up here in the trend, that's the market is trending higher than when it is here. Right? The market may have POC but opens up here or maybe down here, closes the gap. The odds that this one continue towards this edge is higher than coming and check this overnight here. These odds improve when we have this kind of profile above this range here. There's a lot of things here, a lot of information the market is delivering all the time, and really it's really hard to keep track of these things, right? Because these pieces of information are used to put the market in context. Okay, and you want to do that before enter into the regular trading hours, before the market opens. If you can do it one day before, it's even better. All right. And why is better? Because if you do it one day before, when the market closes, or before going to sleep, that little detail there, when you go to sleep, what your brain actually does is the brain store the information that all the things that you have learned during the day. Your brain goes to work and start to store the information. You don't have that chance when you do it before the opening. It's going to be there, okay? After the fact, after something has happened, you will say, "Oh gosh, I have thought about this." Okay? It is easier for your brain to access again. I'm repeating myself over and over here. It is easy for you, for yourself, for your brain to access that information when it's stored, and that's why you write. If you can talk about that, talk about that. But do something. Don't just look at the charts and I see this, I see that. Okay, and that's it. That's not homework. And the odds you're going to have something good out of that are really minimized when you do or when you work when you like that. Okay. I am still monitoring this market relative to. Oh, before I go, this webinar. Jim had a webinar on Sunday, again at 11. It's really, really good, man. I can't believe how no, I wouldn't say how good he had become, but how much Jim has improved over the years. You can see if you were in his intensives or if you were following his weekend updates or his tweets. He doesn't do that anymore. Weekly tweets, right? The improvement that he has is I mean, it's exponentially, relative to a couple years ago, 3, 4, 5, or since he started doing this publicly, right, with his website. It is unbelievable how that happened. I agree in something, right? One of the best things, or one of the best ways to learn, is teaching. Right? There's a lot of feedback you have when you teach. Teaching also forces you to organize your thoughts so you can deliver, right? So you can be understood when you talk to your students or to the people that is trying to learn. If you can do that, do it. Right? I have followed his advice, and that's why I created this stream. That's why I created the Discord. I have no other intention. I don't call trades. It is very hard, right? It's very hard to call trades because two things. One thing for certain will happen, right? And this, you will miss the trade. Right? You will miss the trade because when you start to watch and try to do something, when you write, you will redirect your focus from the screen, from the charts that are in front of you, to the writing, to the Discord, to the Twitter or whatever, and we will miss the trade most likely. The second thing that will happen is the ones who are going to see that are or can be misled for that by that because they don't have the context. They don't have the context or what you are thinking. They don't have the right time, the time frame. They don't have idea what the location can be, the risks. Right? There's a lot of things that have to be considered when you place a trade. And those two things, I think, it's just not worth to do this, to do it that way. That's another reason you are not seeing too much streams now, especially when I think there can be some opportunities, because it distracts you. It really does. You lose focus, and if you are trading, it's going to have an impact in your trade. Okay, that was it for today. Let me see. Trading. Oh, wait. Now that I have showed this. Let me check this thing. Okay. You have this. I don't want to talk too much about these prop films, right? But I think a prop film is good when you have already learned and wanna do something there, or when you wanna practice your strategy. What happened with I think what happened with these prop films is something similar that what happened when we play video games, right? You are either driving, you can be driving a car and you crash, right? And what happens when you crash? You die there. When you are shooting, somebody kills you, well, you die, you're dead, right? Well, what happens after that? You just respawn and keep playing. You start from zero, from whatever you were at the time. That kind of phenomenon I have observed in prop, even, and it was my case as well, and that's why I don't do that. Right? Because if I am going to invest in something, I rather use or trade small. I can use micros. I am not trading since this break started. I'm not touching straight futures. Right? I just not touching any of those things. Just options, right? Because I can at least I can see my risk. I can even buy an option that's 10 points worth, but I know that I can lose that much, right? If something comes out of nowhere, I can lose 10 points, no more than that, right? I have seen people, I've seen friends that they are constantly buying, or so once they blow out, they buy again. I understand that, right? Because I was there as well. And I have this. I just need to do this. Next time I'm going to do this. Next time. It kind of, well, at least it was my case. I don't know if it was with you, but it kind of like losing the discipline that I have set to achieve, or the discipline that I may have reached at that moment in time. I don't know where this comes from, but I am way more disciplined when I trade my account. When I trade my account, I follow my rules. I cut my losses. I take profits. I take trades, place trades, and I have better execution when I am doing my account. I already decided not to do that anymore. Alright? Okay. Now, what we have this week, we have weekly jobs actions. Pay attention to the actions as well. There's a bunch. Ooh, look at how many speakers are this week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a bunch of speakers. Fed speakers today. Retail, this can be something to observe as well. Retail. Inventories may become relevant or not, but let's just keep an eye on those things. What about next week? Nothing next week. PC by the end of the end of the month, right? There's nothing here. You remember, if you have a chance, watch I strongly suggest you to watch the last, at least this 3 here. Yeah, this is the last week. This is this week and the webinar. I mean, and both webinars. I guess last week he also had a webinar. Another 45 minutes webinar. That's really good. Okay. All right, guys. Unless you have any questions, I will be calling it a day. I wish you a wonderful rest of the day. Stay safe. And hope I can see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.